Trapweaving in Wrath of the Lich King is an additional element to your rotation if you are playing as a hunter. You place an explosive trap at the feet of the enemy to instantly trigger it and increase your overall damage. We trapweave with explosive trap and not immolation trap because explosive trap actually deals more damage even if you are fighting a single target. As you can imagine though, explosive trap costs way more mana. Trapweaving increases your DPS as a hunter in almost every scenario, but there are certain buffs which make trapweaving twice as powerful for your rotation than other buffs. We will take a standard 3-minute boss fight in Phase 1 Best in Slot Gear as a Beast Mastery hunter as an example. The reason why we pick Beast Mastery and not Survival will be clear in a minute. Without any raid buffs or consumables, Trapweaving adds a respectable 100 extra DPS to your standard BM rotation. Not bad. Adding consumables to the mix, such as flasks and potions, increases Trapweaving effectiveness by around a further 15 DPS. And as you can imagine, having almost every raid buff, including attack power buffs, because explosive trap scales from attack power, increases the Trapweaving damage by a further 36 DPS over just the consumables. But there is one raid buff we forgot about, which by itself increases Trapweaving effectiveness by around 85 DPS, Judgment of Wisdom. Explosive traps are very expensive, and returning mana from Judgment of Wisdom means you spend less time losing DPS in Aspect of the Viper to make up the lost mana. It means you should burn as much mana to increase your DPS as humanly possible if there is a Judgment of Wisdom on the target. But when should you not trapweave? I would recommend you to not trapweave until you got your basic rotation down, otherwise you might clip your shots or even die to the boss mechanics in melee range. It's better to do 240 less DPS overall if it means you execute your basic rotation perfectly, gaining hundreds more DPS than trapweaving alone would have provided anyways, not to mention surviving until the end of the encounter. More specifically in dungeons and 10-man raids where you accidentally forgot to bring a paladin, it's still an overall DPS increase to trapweave, just not nearly as much as with Judgment of Wisdom. If you have recently raided a lot in a 25-man setting, and now you are doing Heroic Plus dungeons, don't be surprised when you run out of mana faster while trapweaving than an arcane mage on drugs. Learning how to Viper weave when you are low on mana is its own thing to master, so unless you know what to do, or you are swapping your potions of speed for mana potions, leave trapweaving for another day, or else you might deal less damage with more added effort. Don't worry too much about casting your explosive trap in Aspect of the Viper. The damage over time updates dynamically anyways. Going back to the topic of Beast Mastery versus Survival, trapweaving effectiveness, what's interesting is that trapweaving provides the most benefit to Beast Mastery hunters, not survival hunters. This is most likely the case because you don't have that many ways to burn mana in Beast Mastery, especially with the Bestial Wrath mana saving active. And finally, trapweaving is the least effective in marksmanship, most likely because you have a lot of alternative ways to burn mana with your many shots. Still, if you can master your basic rotation, you know what to do when you run out of mana, and the fight lasts longer than 8 seconds, you can count on trapweaving to increase your overall DPS.